It is hashtag finally Friday. You made it, December the 4th. And yeah, we are live with Up to the Minute. Glad to have you join us this morning. We've got some HCC news and information, a lot of things going on. We're about to wrap up this semester, take a break in a couple of weeks, very well-deserved break, but there just seems to be a lot going on. I've got two co-hosts joining me this morning. They can both testify to that because both of them are very busy this time of year with end-of-the-year projects. Brittany Pacheco from her home studio. She's so busy, it's made her cold this morning. Take a look.
Yeah, I'm pretty cold, and I'm a kind of a cold-natured person. No pun intended. I'm nice. Todd, don't go there.
We're not even going to go there.
Don't go there. Don't go there. No, I'm always cold, and my husband's a warm, temperatured person. So it kind of balances in the summer and in the winter. But yeah, I'm cold. Frank, how about you? You still loving this weather?
It's 63 degrees in my house right now, and I'm loving it. I'm barefoot, and I am just taking it all in right now. Look, guys, Up to the Minute. We're on YouTube. Subscribe, please. Up to the Minute. All your latest news, campus news going on, what's going on around the colleges. Please subscribe to the bell. We're also on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. So check us out, and let's grow the show.
Awesome. All right. So Brittany and Frank, stick around. We'll check in with both of you later on. Right now, though, we've got a couple of guests. Dr. Natalia Noland, who's the program coordinator for our translation interpretation program. She's with the Business Center of Excellence. Good morning to you, Dr. Noland.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to hearing about the Business Center of Excellence and your role and your program there. So stick around. We'll check in with you in a little while. First, though, we want to check in with Dr. Jimmy Adams. It's Friday, and of course, he's always the Chief Operations Officer at HCC Northeast College, but every Friday, he's our resident poet. Good morning to you, Dr. Adams. We'll get you to unmute your microphone as well. There we go. Can you hear it? There we go.
I got you.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. How's everybody doing?
We're good. It's good to see you again. I know we had a week off last week with the holiday week, which was nice. Did you have a good break?
I had a good break and I actually took off a few days also. So I had a whole week off, believe it or not.
I always like to catch up with you before we get to your poetry to get some happenings of what's going on at the Northeast College. You guys must be wrapping things up. I imagine some students there in their labs getting ready for exams and finishing up for this fall semester.
Hopefully we'll have classes. Most of the classes will be done about that week of the 11th. So hopefully all of our classes and stuff are done by then. And so we're kind of wrapping up, checking, making sure all our campuses are, up to par with cleaning and PPE and all those different things, getting ready to shut down for the holidays, so that we can open up, ready to roll in January.
Right, and I know there is still a lot of folks asking just about every day. I know Brittany gets questions in social media, how the classes will look. Right now, I guess we're still planning on the 4 different learning options for the spring, and we'll make changes following CDC guidelines if needed.
Yeah, and with us being in the red zone again, I think as a city, we're kind of playing that by ear as we go. So come January, we'll look to see if it will be, possible to do, some of the flex classes, some of the face-to-face stuff on campus. So
right.
We kind of use that as a gauge, and we'll just have to see when we get back, in January.
Right. And the main thing is one way or another, our students will be able to continue their learning because we do have a good offering online. So one way or another, students enroll for the spring. We're going to have classes. We want to keep you on target with your graduation and college goals. Dr. Adams, I want to get to your poem for today. This is concerning gangster rap.
All right. So I wrote this piece. It's been a while. And it was kind of when rap and things were coming out, and a lot of times the artists, they start out with mild lyrics and a good flow, and then somewhere it started to change, and you know, the lyrics start to get a lot edgier, you know, started to bring a lot of violence into the words. And, you know, our kids and students, a lot of students, you know, listen to music and you know, all types of music. So, and rap was one of those. And what I wanted to do was bring some awareness to what is being said and what is being communicated in the music. Because as always, for me, music communicates a message if you really listen to what it's saying.
Right.
So I wanted to try to bring some awareness to that.
Well, let's hear the piece, if you don't mind. Go ahead and get started.
Okay, so this piece is it's titled "Gangster Rap," and my little intro says that, you know, I love all kinds of music, including some rap, and I believe all music strives to inform and educate. I have found that if you really listen to the lyrics of a song, you will find that there is a message in the music. So this is kind of what I've heard, what I hear in the music, and it's titled "Gangster Rap." And if I was doing this, say, in a presentation with an audience, I would get them to kind of go along with me. So when I get to the end of one of my verses and I say I'm a gangster, I get everybody to snap their fingers. And what I'm gonna do is clap, because it sounds a little bit louder and better. So here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Yo, my brother, homie, dog, my brother. There's music in the air. There's rapping everywhere. Kids in the street dancing to the beat, waving their hands in the air, waving them like they just don't care. I'm a gangster. Listen to my rap. Brothers sporting guns, doing what they think is fun. Wake up, my brother, you're killing one another. I'm a gangster. Listen to my rap. Brothers dancing with their souls. I wonder if anybody knows how to save one's soul from dying. How do you comfort a mother's crying? I'm a gangster. Listen to my rap. Prisons are overflowing. Dropout rates are soaring. Schools, my brothers, you're not going. I'm a gangster. Listen to my rap. Don't be blinded by the bling bling. Remove those tattoos and those earrings. Pull up your pants, remove those hoods from your head. Did you hear what I said? Turn your hats around and get hip to the game going down. I'm a gangster. Listen to my rap. Turn the volume down so you can hear what is playing. God won't be happy with what the words are saying. All I can say, we gotta find a way to bring some understanding here today. I'm a gangster. Listen to my rap. Boom, boom, boom. And that's a wrap. Thank you.
Dr. Adams, always a treat to have you on Fridays. A great message, a powerful message with your piece today. And from what you're telling me, next week we're going to have a similar piece.
You got it. When this one would be more around some of the music that was influential back in the 70s and 80s that had a message to convey to all that listen to music. So, but with rap, I think there are a lot of great artists out there. I love Tupac, his earlier stuff, and then as that transition, it started to get edgy. But rap has its following, and it's pretty large. But my message is just try to communicate to people, know that everybody is listening, right. Kids are listening, and what you say influence what they do sometimes. And so just be cognizant of that as you put out music in that realm.
Yeah, we're not only speaking to musicians, we also need to speak to politicians as well. What you say has an impact, you know.
Thank goodness. Thanks for saying that.
Yeah, I think a lot of it falls under all categories: celebrities, politicians, of course, musicians. What you say really has impact.
There's always a message in what you're saying, so always be conscious of who's listening, and you never know who's listening. And we want to be a positive influence, not a negative one. So.
Hey, Doctor, that was a great poem. And the poem, you mentioned Tupac, and he's one of my favorite artists of all time too, especially his earlier work as well. The poem had remnants of Brennan Has a Baby and Keeping Your Head Up. Those two Tupac songs. And when people listen to those two songs, they listen to, I think they missed the message of what Tupac was trying to say in those songs, as far as like the marginalization, the racism, the police brutality, and the plight of growing up in the urban community. And that poem that you conveyed really, it reminded me of those two songs back in the early 90s that Tupac was trying to convey to the public.
Yeah, we always struggle through all situations, and a lot of times I think, you know, when we write music, you know, I'm not a musician, but I know my lyrics. There are lyrics that could be put to music. And it's about a struggle. You're trying to convey something you're going through. And I think people can relate to that, but to me, you can do it in a way that, you know, people can better understand. And I know exactly, you know, Tupac and, you know, Lil Wayne, Jay-Z and Eminem. You know, I love Eminem stuff because he, you know, he has a nice flow to his music, but he doesn't get so violent, you know, with the edgy wording. So I think the wording is the key to me. But what lures you into it is the beat.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's still music. And so if we can clean those lyrics up and, you know, enjoy that music, you know, it will influence a lot of people in a positive way. So
absolutely.
Thank you for that. That was great.
Thank you, Dr. Adams. Thanks for being here this morning. You have a good week and stay safe.
Okay, you guys be safe.
You too, Doctor.
See you again.
All right.
All right, we're moving on to Dr. Natalia Noland. Of course, Dr. Noland, you are with the program. You're the program coordinator for the Translation and Interpretation program here at HCC. Before we get to our questions, just tell us an overview of your program and what people can get out of it, the job possibilities that are available as well.
Okay, so we have been running this program since 2015, and I actually created this program. And we are so far the only college that are offering comprehensive credit hour translation and interpretation program in all language pairs, because there are colleges that teach translation and interpretation. We accept students with all language pairs. What we also do, we accept blind students, and we have already graduates who are successfully working, so that's a great opportunity. And we started as a certificate level 2 program, but now we're also offering an associate degree. And what you call this, it's a comprehensive program. So what we're offering is general information about translation and interpretation, and then students learn language-specific courses, such as translation, technical, legal, and medical, and interpretation, technical, legal, and medical.
Why would someone choose a career as a language professional? It seems like it would take a special individual who would want to do this. It's not for everyone, and I imagine it's a pretty intense program.
It is, actually, and people sometimes don't know what they're getting in when they start our program, because normally people think, well, I know 2 languages, I'm bilingual, why can't I just go and translate or interpret? However, if you can hold a scalpel, it doesn't mean that you can operate on a patient.
Yeah.
So therefore, you
That's
need to learn. Yes, absolutely. You need to learn how to, techniques technologies, because there are special technologies, software, translation memory software, machine translation technologies, note-taking, lots of stuff that needs to be learned before the person can really start translating while understanding what he or she is doing.
Tell us the difference between translation and interpretation.
Well, there is a general word translation, kind of covering everything, but strictly speaking, translation is written translation and interpretation is oral, when we are interpreting when we're offering consecutive or simultaneous interpretation.
Do translators, when you think translators are needed, I know Houston has a large need for them in areas like the Texas Medical Center, because we have a large international population going through the Texas Medical Center. But as you mentioned earlier, that's just one venue where translators can work. I also imagine they could do a lot of their work online too.
Absolutely, especially, right now, a lot of activities moved online. For example, there is a new emerging way of interpreting audio-visual interpretation. So, yes, online also immigration services are in great need of translators and interpreters. And there is also one more interesting way of working, and it's localization. Because in our era of globalization, a lot of industries are offering their products abroad. And so this is how translators and interpreters contribute to localization. Because you need to localize websites, you need to localize audio-visual games, and so on.
And I'm going to ask you this next question, but I have a comment at the end of it. But I know Google translations out there, and we can all speak into our phone and have it translated. And people may say, well, that's just great. We don't really need a live person. But I'll give you one example here, because we get this every day here at HCCTV. If you're watching a program on television, turn on the closed captioning and look at everything that's wrong with the closed captioning. That's done electronically. There's nothing like having a real person do that translation, because you're going to get so much more accuracy than you're going to have with a closed captioning system that's done electronically.
Absolutely, exactly. And one more thing, machine is a machine. So the software may be absolutely great, but it still does not understand cultural differences.
Yeah.
And things like that. This is where human interpreters and translators are very handy. And so the Bureau of Labor Statistics actually is forecasting the growth of this profession by 20% between 2019 and 2029.
Wow.
So for these 10 years, 20%, it's much larger than any other occupation.
Absolutely. And your students get a chance at doing internships. I know we've worked with you and some of your students at HCCTV, and
absolutely
they us. So, but they have chances at doing internships, not just with us, but I imagine across the city.
Yeah. HCCTV is one module of our internship program, because this is part of our program. The internship is a special class. And so students train in all the skills. They try to apply all the skills we have taught them in the program. And for example, this is Opera Q's. Last year, in November, they translated the whole magazine for Houston Grand Opera. And there is a credit here, yes, translated by the interns of HCC Translation and Interpretation Program. So one other student has been working with Houston Grand Opera for the super titles, the titles that go over the stage. Also, we have a strategic partnership with Masterwood Services. That's a translation company. And students go there and work. They first study how the company works, because many of them will become later on project managers in companies and so on. So they study that, and they also work as translators and interpreters.
The job market for this is incredible, especially in the Houston area, because we're growing leaps and bounds, and everyone coming here isn't just coming from California, they're coming from across the world.
Exactly. So we speak 145 languages in Houston.
That's amazing.
And that's why I think it's great that we just accept students with any language pair.
Absolutely. Let me ask you one final question. We've all been living in a different world since last March and COVID hit, and we've been working remotely. How has that affected your department? I imagine you took everything online. How have the students been dealing with the online instruction?
Well, actually, we have even more students than we used to.
Wow, that's great.
Yes, absolutely, because we put everything online, but because of the technology, we can basically have online classes, we have online training, and students record themselves. They work in groups, in breakout sessions in WebEx and so on. So it's like in a real class. It's just absolutely great.
That's incredible. Dr. Noland, we appreciate you joining us, and we always look forward to working with you at HCCTV. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And if you'd like to learn more about our translation and interpretation program, we're going to put the link in our social media post for the show so you can explore the program. And you guys, I imagine, are enrolling for the spring right now?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So spring enrollment is open for your program.
Yes.
As well.
Yeah. We actually enroll 2 times a year, in the fall and in the spring. So it's like a snowball.
Well, get enrolled early now. Thanks, Dr. Noland. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
So we're going to move on to our HCC events and announcements. Brittany Pacheco's got a special guest joining her, Luna. Brittany, how's it going?
Well, she likes to give kisses.
Yeah, that's cute. Good to see.
Will you stop? But yeah, she's starting to become a guest on our show towards the very end. Yeah. That's good to see. And we've got, of course, Frank Cooper joining us from his home studio. Frank, an important thing to talk about right now, food insecurity. It's a real thing around the city, and also for many of our students and their families. HCC's got a bit of a resource for that, the Eagle Food Market.
Yeah, so several HCC campuses next week will be providing food to the general public. Registration is filling up fast, though. So all HCC community members can sign up to receive free food by using the registration form to choose a campus, date, and time. So that's all next week from the 7th to the 14th, multiple HCC locations. Check your emails to register. For more information regarding that, go to hcc.cares at hccs.edu.
And there's a beat battle going on. Mesa having a beat battle. Be Someone is what it's titled. The Be Someone beat battle is tomorrow night. Try saying that fast. The event partnership between the Visual and Performing Arts Center of Excellence and the Music Entertainment Student Association. Students who have auditioned will perform tomorrow night, 7 to 10 p.m., Saturday, December 5th. Registration is required. We'll have the email address in this post. And Brittany, there's something going on Instagram. We've talked about this really over the last few weeks, but we have virtual students exhibitions happening.
We do. So obviously our galleries are not, available to the public right now. They're closed, just as our campuses are closed. So our visual art students' work remain on exhibit, but through Instagram as their gallery for non-juried works from studio classes in all 6 colleges. This is going on now through January 16th. You can visit that Instagram page with the handle at HCC_visual_arts. We'll be sure to post that in the description of this post after this show. You can also email Catherine with a K.fields@hccs.edu for more info.
And Frank, speaking of showcasing our students online, we have a fall student film festival happening.
Absolutely. So Saturday, December 12th, with everything going on with COVID and everything, students are now showcasing the film projects on YouTube. The leak is not in yet, but that is to come. So the screening program will include works in TV production workshop, video graphics, and visual effects. cinematography, directing. So for more info regarding that, email the chair, michael.cohn, that's COHN, at hccs.edu.
And of course, save the date for faculty and staff. We've got a convocation coming up next year, but it's not that far away. In fact, January the 15th. Registration going to be happening soon, but we can tell you the title is called Deep in the Heart of Houston. So look forward to that HCC Spring 2021 virtual convocation. We look forward to seeing you there. A lot of things happening online, Brittany, including Success Center tutors. They are available.
They certainly are. So we have our tutors that can meet with students virtually through Microsoft Teams, thanks to our HCC Academic Success Center. Now, they will help with your coursework, understanding your assignments, and improving study skills. Now, I know we're winding down for this semester, but just keep this in mind for your future semesters because, again, our student success tutors are going to be available virtually. Now, we'll post a link in the description box after this show, and just be on the lookout for our social media posts.
That's right. And another thing to keep in mind, very important, enrollment for the fall or the spring semester is happening right now. Now, Brittany, I know you've been getting a lot of questions about the learning options, what's happening. All we can say right now is classes are going to happen one way or another.
Yeah, definitely. So I know that this past semester we did offer our in-person classes, but that had to change due to the rise in cases here in Houston. So we had to pivot to have everything be 100% online. At this time for spring 2021, we are offering all 4 modalities for spring classes. However, if cases do continue to rise here in Houston, once again, I'm sure we will communicate the change to our students as soon as that decision has been made by the administration. But do not let that deter your wanting to enroll for classes, because we do have something offered for you. Continue your studies, continue to be successful, and you will achieve your goal one way or another.
Right. You can register today. Register early at hccs.edu/now. So we want to talk a little sports because why not? It's the fall. And Frank, it's going to be a big weekend for football for most people, except for maybe the Houston Texans.
Yeah, so the playoff chase is coming. I know we had a lot of cancellations, but it's December now. We're in the stretch run. We got a lot of big games and at the pro and college level. I got a couple of sneaky picks for you too, man. What you got, Todd? Who you picking this weekend, college or pro?
I'm going to go with the pro, and you probably know who I'm going to pick. You know, who's playing?
I'm strong inclination.
I'm going to go with the Colts, right?
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, they had a huge loss last week to Tennessee, but I can see them bouncing back this weekend for sure.
Who doesn't bounce back? You know, the Texans were just about to get good again, and here we go again. You got the PED problem. Players are saying, I didn't know I was taking something that was against the rules. Okay, fine. But either way, yeah, it's just not looking good for the Texans. But who you got?
So this weekend, Baltimore plays Dallas this weekend. Yeah. And with them being, I think, 3-7, they still are a game behind in the East. NFC least, aka NFC East, and it's not guaranteed that Lamar Jackson's going to play. Lamar Jackson's still under COVID protocol right now. He's still out. I got Dallas with a sneaky victory Monday night. The game got moved to Monday because the Baltimore game got moved yesterday against Pittsburgh. So I got Dallas beating Baltimore.
Okay,
21-17.
And is Lamar Jackson still out?
He's still out. So, as of right now, he's still out. He might get cleared. Yeah. If he's cleared, then my pick is going to change. But if he doesn't play and RG3 is playing, I got Dallas. I got the battle of the backup quarterbacks with Andy Dalton winning.
You got a college pick for us?
College. I had Ohio State, but the game got canceled again. So I do have a prediction for the season. So Big Ten is only playing 7 games, but Ohio State has had 2 games already canceled, and they don't have time to remake those games. Ohio State's number 3 in the rankings right now. if they get one more cancellation, I think the committee is going to drop them out of the top 4.
Well, I mean, something has to happen. It's getting ridiculous. You can't play 6 games and become a national champion. I'm sorry. It's just like the Cougars. Unfortunately, they're only going to get one more game this year. They're not even getting enough games to go to a bowl game. It's crazy.
And that game against SMU, that was its second time being canceled. They've had 5 cancellations this season alone.
Yeah, well, they're not only rescheduling the game, they're canceling this time altogether. It's done. It's over. There's no SMU this year. It's crazy. Why even bother? But we know why.
Yeah, it's unfair. Like how some conferences are playing 10 games, some playing 6 games, some playing 12 games. BYU's undefeated. BYU is undefeated at I think 6 or 7-0. They're gonna play 11 games this year, and they still might get in the top 4.
Amazing. Well, Frank, it's a crazy season, but we'll see how it goes this weekend. We'll check in with you next week. Brittany, we'll check in with you right now. Tell everyone what's coming up on Monday, because we got a big Monday.
We do have a big Monday, Todd. Monday is the anniversary of Pearl Harbor, which we will commemorate with the National Museum of the Pacific War. We've been visited by them once before, and although it's difficult to believe that it's been 79 years ago that Pearl Harbor was attacked, there's still a lot that we can learn from this event, and what better than to talk to the museum, who basically specializes in war history.
Yeah. And we're also going to be talking about our upcoming Visual Performing Arts Center of Excellence presentation, Love in 2020. Program coordinator Deborah Schultz will be here to tell us about the students creating the virtual show. That should be cool.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So thank you both for being here, and thank you for joining us on Up to the Minute. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Get out, enjoy the weather. Make sure you mask up and do that social distancing thing. One way or another, we'll see you back here live 10 a.m. Monday morning.